Hello friends and family, how is everybody doing? I hope you guys are doing well. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to the Draken Station. It's on YouTube, it's on Anchor, and it's soon to be an Apple Podcast. I'm really excited about that. And before we begin, I want to thank my producers, aka my sisters, Linda and Susanna, for helping me get started with this channel. We just got a bunch of new equipment and I'm excited to embark in this new frontier, which brings me to my first subject. It's getting started. You know, sometimes a lot of us never end up doing anything because we contemplate on how we want things to be, how we want things to look, and then end up not doing it at all. So this is today's podcast. I just want to talk about just getting started. Whatever you want to do, now is the best time, guys. Don't waste any more time. We already had 2 months to 3 months of being in lockdown, and some of us use that energy to do the things that we always wanted to do that we never had the chance to because of time. So there is no more excuse. Hopefully you didn't spend all your stimulus money on just drinking and partying. We got to take these opportunities because they don't come very often. And amidst all this, I mean, to throw a curveball at the situation, we also had the Black Lives Matter, which is huge because it's 2020, guys. Why are we still having to fight for equality? I remember the 92 riots, okay? And that time, Rodney King was beaten up, and they had video footage of him getting beaten up, and then they went to court, they did the whole 9, and then the cops got away with it. And then black people felt, you know, if they have evidence and cops can still get away with it, there is no equality. What else can they do? What more do they want? Fast forward 2020. I think if the Minnesota police would have handled it a lot quicker, things would be different. But that's for another topic. What we do know is it happened, and this is where we stand. And I don't agree with a lot of things, especially rioting and looting, but I understand. There are some angry people, and there are also some people who took advantage of the situation, which sucks. I didn't even know there was a terrorist group called Antifa out there until all this happened. But if you guys want to know where I stand, I do stand with Black Lives Matter. Why? Because we all should be able to walk outside our house and feel equal, right? We shouldn't have to feel because of a certain race or color they're gonna get away with things. Everything should be fair. Now, I know that in our Constitution it says that, but that doesn't change the way we feel, because we don't feel it's fair. Since 92, it's been 23 years. And what has changed? If things gone better and moving in the direction we were supposed to be moving, I don't think this would have been happening. But it just shows how unfair our system really is. And if anything, COVID-19 just exposed our country. It exposed our weaknesses. Okay. And I try not to post too much on Facebook because, man, you guys are malicious on Facebook. You can't even put an idea without someone attacking you. Okay. There's good people on both sides. Okay. And I hate when they make it a left or right thing. There is no one solution for the problem because this is a very complex problem. So we have to tackle it one by one. Do I believe defunding the police is the answer? No. But I could see why people want to defund the police, because we feel that the police is part of the problem. What we need to do is probably have definitely a reform, how to train the cops so they're not so scared that every time something happens they have to pull out their gun and be ready to shoot somebody. Okay, because we all seen plenty of footage of black men getting arrested and there's 4 cops with their guns drawn. Now, it's case by case and every situation is different, and I understand that. But my argument is this: once you arrest somebody, they're in handcuffs, they're on the floor, I don't think you need to have your guns drawn at that point. That guy is not gonna do nothing. There's nothing 4 cops, grown adults, cannot handle. That's just how I see the situation. I'm pretty sure a lot of people can see eye to eye with me in that regard. Now, sometimes depending on the case, the cops might have to be aggressive, and I get that, but there's a time and place. But once you get the situation under control, you should not have to use any more excessive force after that. Okay? And my problem number 2 with the whole situation is this: after it's all said and done, there's a small group of people who try to use a person's character. They would like to bring up his past to try to justify what the cops did was okay. Murder is never okay. Never. Not one bit. It doesn't matter what you've done in your past. We're not perfect. None of us is perfect. We all done some messed up things, but we shouldn't be judged by that, because life is all about growth, being better. If you messed up, you're sorry for it, and you're trying to be a better person, that's what it's all about. And the media likes to go back and dig up some past and said, oh, this person did this back in the day, just to justify what happened to him now, making it okay. It's never okay. Okay, we can even make the argument with the school shootings. Okay, remember when I don't even remember his name, he shot up all and killed some kids in the process, and when they got the situation under control, we see him come out with a vest. 3 cops walked him out, and that was it. That was it. But anybody else, they'll get treated like animals, shoved to the ground, guns drawn. And that's what we see. It's not what we know, it's how we feel. If people, colored people, feel that way, then the system is not working. We have to train the cops to be better. I heard that in some states, to be a cop, it only takes about 5 months to 6 months of training, and then you get that badge. I don't know. I feel that's a little too easy, you think? But again, that's another topic. We can talk for hours on that. But we need to stop just attacking each other, okay? Trying to put your points view, you know, trying to put your ideas and argue why you're right. We need to stop doing that. We need to start finding solutions, okay? And I heard some really, really good solutions. Steven Jackson, who was an NBA player, retired, he made up a good point, and I was listening to his interview with Colin Cowherd, and Colin Cowherd has a radio show on Fox, and Steven Jackson brought up a valid point, and I kind of agree with him on this one. He said, you know, if they hired cops that grew up in that community, who know that community, a lot of this would not happen. Now, to be fair, if they brought someone else who never even been in the neighborhood and you insert him, he's not gonna know. He's not gonna know the vibe. He's never been there. So I agree with him on that front. Okay, I think that's a really, really good idea. Now, like I said, all these topics, they're not easy. There's no one way answer to solve all the problems, but we have to tackle it one by one, starting with the obvious. Maybe more training, so the cops feel, you know, they can handle the situation without drawing their guns. Because like humans, all humans, you know, if you're getting attacked, you're gonna react. That's just how it is. And then when I look at the protesting, I mean, you gotta understand, everyone's heated. Cops trying to do their job, protesters trying to get their message out, and then you got the provocators who are going up to the cops, throwing rocks, calling names. I mean, any other time, take the position away, okay? Just put two people next to each other. And if someone went up to you and start talking shit, throwing stuff at you, what are you gonna do as a human? You are going to react, okay? Now, it's just unfortunately that cops are gonna be cops, and what they're gonna do back to you in that situation is not gonna look pretty, and it just fuels the fire. And every time we see a cop use force, especially in those moments, it's gonna look bad, period. And then I seen videos where cops are just beating people up with a baton. I don't know if you guys ever seen a baton or held one. That thing is solid steel. There is nothing fun about getting hit by a baton, let alone getting shot by a rubber bullet. Nothing fun. And then there's the people who took advantage of the situation, which is so sad. It's like they're trying to hijack what is really going on, taking away the movement. And I don't agree with about that. But you can't write all that on Facebook, okay? You can only write one point. And before you can even defend yourself, you got plenty of people arguing right back against you who know nothing about you, don't know where you stand, because they never took the time to ask, hey, why did you write that? What's your logic behind all of that? Right now, we need to sit down as people and talk about things educatedly and constructively. We have to try to do that, because if we don't, we're just putting more anger and hate in this process, and that's not going to help anybody. Because I always feel we are all in this together, and if all of us can't feel equal, then it all doesn't matter, because then it's just words on paper. We need action. We need action. In the city of Los Angeles, it's funny because a couple days ago, I read that the mayor, Eric Garcetti, he's gonna allocate between anywhere from 100 million to 150 million to other resources. And I was looking at the pie chart, and I noticed just for law enforcement, holy crap, that's a huge chunk of the pie. Huge chunk of the pie. Now, some may argue that, oh, because if you're defunding the police, who's gonna protect you? Who's gonna? Yeah, I understand all that. But I wish we can all just be good people, where we don't need a lot of policing. I wish that's the world we live in. And I do understand that defunding and cutting their resources is gonna not help them do their job properly. But then when you look at some of the money being put into parks and schools and things that can help a community, it doesn't compare. It doesn't compare. If we had more after school programs where kids can go, sports, music, give them something to do. where they can be productive and maybe as they get older, add back to society. Imagine that. All those has been taken away, and we allocate those money on policing. And then we all know there's bad apples in every company, every business. There's bad apples everywhere. We know that. And what's sad is that some jobs, work, companies, etc., law enforcement, there are a bunch of good people who are not speaking up. They see the problem, but they are too afraid because of the backlash. What happened? What happened? What happened to us? We see a problem, we just stay quiet. Look, you got two sides of the spectrum, okay? One end, the other end. And isn't it funny, on the far end of both spectrums is where the damage is most done. It doesn't take a million people to do bad. It just takes a few to do really bad. And then there's the rest of us who are in the middle, who look, complain, react, but we stay quiet. We stay quiet until something happens where it unites us all. Like the George Floyd murder. Enough was enough. Okay, people just didn't wake up one morning and saw what happened to George Floyd and said, oh, now it's the time. No. They've been feeling this for a while. They've been feeling unjust. They got tired of it. It broke the camel's back. They're done. And a couple of days ago in Hollywood, I never seen so much people gather up in one location on Hollywood Boulevard and Highland. Oh my goodness. You think they're just doing it for their health? No. They're tired. They're tired of seeing where they are. They're tired of how they grew up. Nothing has changed. That's why they're out there protesting. And that's why I'm out there supporting. Because until things get better, it's probably only going to get worse. Crazy. Just something to think about. And I'll leave you guys with that thought. Let's try to be better. You know, let's try to find solutions instead of complaining, instead of bitching, instead of pointing the finger. Let's start with us. I'm gonna start with me. You know, I'm glad to talk and listen to your viewpoints, but I'm more. What I want more is for you to talk to me about what we can do to be better, because that's where it starts. Complaining doesn't get us anywhere. A lot of us are angry. I get that. I see that. I read it. But we have to be better as people. And it's going to start individually. And that's all we can do. It's 2020, guys. 2020. Not been a good year. But we can try to make it better. And that's all we can do. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I would love to talk for hours. And eventually I want to have guests. We can either have them phone in. But I'm excited and can't wait to see what the future brings. So I just want to send out peace and love to everyone. Thank you for tuning into my channel. And thank you for those who are subscribing. I don't have many subscribers, but I treat them like I have many. Okay? Take care, guys. Peace out.